Good afternoon, everyone. So when it comes to equity shares, they are the owners of the company. So equity shares are shares which are given to the people who willingly buy the equity shares. So equity shares advantages, they get a chance to participate in the profits of the company. They get chance to get more participation in the management of the company. All this can be done by equity shareholders. There is more risk also which will be involved for the equity shareholders. So that is why equity shareholders are called as owners of the company. Anything that the company wants to do, they have to first inform the equity shareholders, get their permission, and then only the company can do the work. So that is equity. Then coming to preference shares. Now here the preference shareholders will get preference in two situations. Situation number one, they get preference in payment of dividend. So whenever the company pays the profit back to the shareholders, that is called as dividend. So preference shareholders are the first set of people who will get the dividend, and that is the first preference. The second preference that they in the second topic that they get preferences, when the company is closing down, preference shareholders will be paid back all the money first. Okay, simply like that, company cannot close the shutters and go. So they'll have to pay back all of the they have to pay back all of the required people, and then only they can close the company. So that is preference shares. Now in preference shares, the risk is very less. They will not get too much of chance to get profits or participate in management. They cannot vote in the meetings of the company, but all these can be enjoyed by equity shareholders. Okay, then coming to retained earnings. Now retained earnings is a part of profit which the company keeps aside, okay, so that it can use these retained earnings in case of emergency, or whenever it wants to give more shares to the shareholders. In case of giving bonus shares, in that case also they can use retained earnings. In any emergency situation where they require money immediately, and it's a genuine situation, not a fraud situation, it's a very genuine situation, in those cases they can uh, use this retained earnings. Then coming to debentures. Now yesterday we were learning through an example of home loan how the loans work. Now if at all you want a loan, if at all you want a home loan, now the banks will ask for the income that the person has. Now once the bank knows that you have some income where you will be able to repay the money, correct, where you'll be able to repay the money, but what is the guarantee that you will repay the money? One guarantee is your salary certificate or the salary slip that you will have to give to the bank people. Apart from that, the papers, the documents of the home has to be pledged with the bank. So that is called a secured loan. Now what is a secured loan? If at all a person, A is the name of the person. Now if at all this person will not pay the loan, then I can sell this home. Now to sell the home, I need to have the documents of the house, right? So I can sell the home and recover the money. So I have a guarantee in my hand. I have a charge on the asset. I have the right on the asset, that is the home here. So I have no problem to give the loan. So everybody understood this concept of loan, home loan, which is given by the bank? Okay. Now, same situation, let us apply. Very good. Now, same situation, let us apply in the company. Now, here, the bank, in the place of bank, it will be investors. Okay. In the place of the bank, it will be investors. That is we people. And in the place of A, it will be company. Okay. We investors are giving loan to the bank. Sorry, we are giving loan to the company, not bank. Okay, so we investors are giving loan to the company. So what is the guarantee that the company will pay back? We need some guarantee, right? Because we are giving money. It is our hard earned money. We would have worked for months and years together, and we would have saved the money which we are giving. So what is the guarantee that the company will pay back? You cannot say that, oh, the company is very big, see, they have such big building. The building may not be owned, the building may be rental, the building may be lease. So you cannot see all that and give the loan. You need to have some proper security, proper right, so that you can get back your money. So debentures are like the same loan concept. They are like loan, but they are not loan. Understand that debentures are like loan. The concept is very similar to loan. Okay, but this category of debentures are called as borrowings for the company. So this is where many people gets confused, because everything looks similar. Okay, debentures are the definition of the debenture is, it's an acknowledgement of debt. Debt means loan. Okay, it's an acknowledgement of debt. So debt, borrowing, all these are similar terms which are used. So here investor is giving money to the company, where company will create a charge on its asset. Now create a charge means, like here you had home, you had a house where you gave the papers of the house to the bank so that they had the charge. Correct? Now in the companies, they will create a charge on huge machineries. Now companies will have big machineries, right, which will go for some 3-4 buildings together, or they'll have a plant I have already explained, where the procedure happens. So they will create a charge either on the machinery or on some building that the company is using. So once they create charge on the building, it means if the company is not paying back my loan, paying back my money, then I can sell. I have the right. I, as a debenture holder, has the right to sell the company's building and take the money back. Okay, so that is the type of, or that is the concept of a debenture, which is very similar to the bank loan. Okay, now in bank loan we will have to pay the interest plus principal. Correct? We'll have to pay the interest plus principal, and this is called as EMI, equated monthly installments. So in bank loan, every month I'll have to pay some amount as the interest plus principal. In debentures, they will not pay principal, but they will keep paying the interest. Every year, not month, every year debenture holders will get the interest. In debentures, it will not be every month. Okay, it will be every year. Few companies will give every quarter, that is 3 months once they will pay. It depends on the company, but every month the company won't pay. Okay, so every year is actual calculation, that every year the debenture holders or the investors who have given money to the company will be getting the interest of 12%, 15%, 9%. Okay, so here that is the difference. In bank loan, principal plus interest, that is EMI, will be paid, but here investors are receiving the interest for giving the money. Okay, so that is debenture. It is a type of borrowing. It's a type of, what is borrowing? You request your friend and take 100 rupees from them. That is a borrowing. Right? So similarly, even the finance long-term source in the company is debenture. Now these debentures are not issued so easily. Okay, there is a lot of process which involves in the debenture issual. So to make it more secure, to make it more stronger, they can also set up a debenture trust. Okay, debenture trust is something, it is one particular body which will make sure that the company will give the money back to the investors. Now here what will happen in the bank loan, we will pay the EMI. After many years we will be able to get our home loan papers, correct? Once we finish all our EMIs, then we will be able to get back our home documents, right? Now in the company, once the debentures minimum number of years for debenture is 10 years. Sorry, maximum number is 10 years. More than 10 years they cannot issue the debentures. Okay, a normal debenture can be kept for a 10-year period, so that is why it is called as long term. Very long term you will be using the money. So if at all one person has invested 10,000 rupees, and like this, if 100 people invest 10,000, how many zeros we will have? So we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if you see here, I have got 10 lakh rupees totally from 100 people. Like this, if I have some 10,000 people, 50,000 people, 1 lakh people, 1 crore people, I have a huge amount with me. But the one major thing that the company has to keep in mind is this interest payment is compulsory from the company side. The company must pay this interest no matter it is having profit or it is having loss. It is compulsory to pay this interest amount. So that is debenture, which is a type of borrowing. Understood debentures? Everybody understood what is debentures? Any doubts in the debenture part? No, very good. Now there are certain types of debentures which you will have to learn. So we'll see what are the types of or kinds of debentures. Now first kind of debenture is unsecured debenture. Now unsecured means, I told you that the company will keep a machinery or a building as a security, as one asset, wherein if the company does not pay money, then I can sell that machinery or the building and get the money from the company, right? But in unsecured debentures, there will be no asset. There will be no asset which will be kept for the loan. Simply just like that, we will give money, the company will take the money. What is that that we have given money is only based on the trust. We trust the company, we are sure that they will give back our money, so that is why we have given them the money. So that is unsecured debentures. Now nowadays, before this was usually done, but nowadays after quite good number of scams that has happened, unsecured debentures are not much in use. Companies also don't prefer too much of unsecured debentures. The investors will not invest when it comes to unsecured debentures, because if you have seen so many people running away from the country after taking the money and all that, so people are also scared about their money now, because there is no safety in any place. So that is why they don't prefer unsecured debentures. But unsecured debentures are there in the companies. They can issue unsecured debentures. Okay, so they can collect the money and they will say you when they will pay back, but there is no guarantee. If at all the company paybacks, if at all the company does not pay back, then the money is gone. Okay, so that is unsecured debentures. Now coming to secured debentures, we have already learned this. In secured debentures, you have an asset which is already been kept there as the security, where on that you are very confident that if the company does not pay, you can sell the asset and get your money. So that is secured debentures. Then redeemable debentures. Redeemable debentures means, let's say I have invested, or let's take a company example. Company XYZ Limited. Now this company XYZ Limited is issuing debentures, redeemable debentures. Okay, it's issuing redeemable debentures where the people will buy the redeemable debentures. Okay, now if this company closes down after, let's say, 30 years, after 30 years the company is closing down. Now it's been more than 30 years the company is there, now they are closing down the company. Now before the closure of the company, they will pay you back the all debentures amount. You will be getting interest every year, they will keep paying, that is not a issue. But apart from that, they will also give the principal amount back to you. So that is redeemable. Redeeming means giving back. Okay, so that is redeemable debentures. They will give during the lifetime of the company only, they will give back your money. Okay, now irredeemable debentures, opposite of redeemable. Okay, here they will not give back the money, the principal money will not be given back, only interest will be paid year on year. That is irredeemable debentures. Okay, now irredeemable debentures are usually not given in India. Nobody will give irredeemable shares, irredeemable debentures. It's actually not right according to Companies Act. Also they cannot give irredeemable debentures. Okay, because my principal amount is not coming back, only my interest. They keep paying me interest. I would have got money in the interest, but then my principal amount also is left behind. I am giving you so much money to be used for so many number of years. What is the use for me? Okay, so that is irredeemable debentures where they don't give back your principal amount. Then registered debentures. Now registered debentures are where they will have a debenture register in the company and your name will be written in that debenture register as this person. Let's say Mr. A. Mr. A is a debenture holder. That will be written in the debenture register or register of debenture holders of the company. So this is known as registered debentures. So the certificate of a debenture will have your name in particular. Like how your marks cards have your name, your full name with initial. Similarly, these debenture certificates will have the full name of you, and it will also be written in the separate book in the company. So company will also have a record stating Mr. A has debentures which is in our company. So that is registered debentures. Are you all able to follow? Did you understand the first 5 types? Understood the first 5 types of the debentures? Everybody is able to follow, right? Any doubts? Now, next is bearer debenture. Now, in registered debentures, what happened? The names of the person will be written in a separate book saying that they are the Mr. A is a debenture holder. Now, bearer debenture means whoever is having the debenture certificate, that person is called the owner. Now, suppose if I have the debenture certificate with me, there will be no name written on it. Okay, it will just say bearer. Bearer means whoever is having that certificate is the owner. Now, today, if I have the certificate, I will be the owner of the debenture. So, if tomorrow Janavi has the certificate, she will be the owner of the debenture. Okay. Later, if Janvi gives that to Bharat, Bharat will become the owner. Then if Bharat gives that to Sharath, Sharath will become the owner. Okay. Like this, just by having the debenture certificate in hand, they will become the bearer of it. They will become the owner of those debentures until the time they are having that debenture certificates with them. So that is the bearer debenture. Clear? Next, convertible debentures. Convertible debentures means you can convert your debenture to equity share. Okay, so after certain period of time, you have the right, whenever you feel like, no, I don't want to be a debenture holder, let us say I want to become a equity shareholder. So you can convert your debenture to the equity shares. So that is convertible debentures. And opposite of that is non-convertible debentures, where you cannot convert them into equity shares. Once it is given as debentures, it will remain as debentures forever. So these are the major 8 types of debentures: unsecured and unsecured, redeemable and irredeemable, registered and bearer, convertible and non-convertible. Okay, if you keep so much in mind, all the names itself will say you the meaning of the debentures, so it will be easy for you to remember. So understood types of debentures? Any doubts until here? Okay, good. Now, apart from debentures, let us learn one more type of borrowing. So this is a type of borrowing, right? So one more type of borrowing is bonds. Since it's a very similar concept, I will also finish up bonds in this part only. Now, when it comes to bonds, it is also like a debenture. Now, debenture, what will happen? They will ask you to give the money. They will keep paying you interest every year. Per annum, you'll be getting the interest. Correct? And in between also, they can issue debentures. They can ask you to give more money in between also. But when it comes to bonds, it is again a long-term source of finance where it will be for 10 to 15 years. But here you will keep more money in bulk. More money will be deposited. Now, you all know about fixed deposit, FD. Everybody know about FD in the bank? Yes. Now, what happens in FD? Let's say, for example, you are keeping FD of 1 lakh rupees. Now, they will say you, they'll be giving you 7% interest on FD for 1 year. Okay. Now, after 1 year, you will get 1 lakh plus 7% interest. Correct? 1 lakh plus 7% interest. Now, you don't want to take it out for 1 year. You want to continue. Second year also you will keep. Second year you will renew it. Now, what will happen in the second year is, in FD, second year, the investment will not be 1 lakh, but it will be 1 lakh plus 7%. This amount will be invested as FD, and on this you will get 7% for second year. Okay. So now how much you will get? 1 lakh plus 14% will be the amount. This is FD. You will keep a bulk big amount of money where you will get the interest. If you want, you can take it back. If not, next year you can again continue. Now, next year when you continue, it will become more money. Okay, that 7% interest will be added, right? So it will become more money. And on that 7%, like that, it will continue. It's a cycle. Now, bonds are also similarly like this, but in bonds, what will happen is, you will keep more money, like lakhs of rupees. Let's say you have put 5 lakhs into bonds. For example, you have purchased 5 lakhs bond, 5 lakh rupees bond. Okay. Now 5 lakh rupees bond will be kept for 5 years, for suppose 5 years they will keep, and the interest rate will be more. In bonds, the interest rate will be more. Since it is a borrowing, you will get interest, but interest rate will be more. So let us say you are getting an interest of 12% per annum. For 1 year, you are getting 12% for 5 lakhs, and you are keeping this bond for 5 years. Okay, so you will be getting 12% for 5 years. 12%, 12%, 12%, 12%, 12%. For 5 years, you'll keep getting 12, 12, 12 like that. Okay, now after 5 years, let's say 31st December, 31st December, it will get matured. The bond will get matured on 31st December. So you will be getting your 5 lakhs plus 12%, 12%, 12%, 12%, 12%. 5 years interest. 5 years interest at a time you will get. Sometimes they can also add some profit and give. Sometimes, not every time, sometimes. Okay, so this is another type of borrowing. Borrowing for whom? Not for me and you. Borrowing for a company. Okay, borrowing for company is that they can, apart from debentures, similarly bonds can also be taken, but here every year they will not give you amount, but after 5 years they can give you a lump sum. A bigger amount can come back to your hands. So if your parents are planning for some big event in their kids, usually they what they do is, when they want to when you're getting admitted to the college, you would require some more money, or when you want to do some extra course, then in that case they will try to save up money and invest in some place. Okay, so these are bonds. So did you understand the concept of bonds first of all? Yes. Everybody understood the concept of bonds? Any doubts in the concept of bonds? Okay, so this is very similar to the debentures. Both are type of loan for the company. Now always understand, we are discussing about the ways the company can get money. We are not talking about individual. The ways where company can get money. Okay, so that is equity, preference, retained earnings, debentures, and we learned bonds. Now in bonds, you have to learn 3 types of bonds. There are many types of bonds which are there. As per your syllabus, there are 3 types of bonds which you are supposed to learn. Okay, so the first type of bond which you are supposed to learn is government bonds. Okay, government bonds is a type of bond which you are supposed to learn. Now government bonds, what happened? Government will issue the bonds. Okay, usually known as treasury bills. You would have heard this. RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, will issue the treasury bills. Now treasury bills are a bulk amount that you will have to pay. You cannot pay not even 1 lakh. Sometimes the bonds will be issued in, let's say, multiple of 5 lakhs. So you can invest 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Like this, you will have to invest into the treasury bills. So these treasury bills will have a opening date and will have a maturity date. Opening date means if I am buying today, from today till the next 5 years, next 10 years, next 8 years, like that, it will be for a longer period of time. But here government is getting your money and government will be paying you interest. Okay, since RBI is only giving these bonds, there is more guarantee, there is more trust, saying that the RBI itself is giving, so they have to pay you a good amount of interest. And this treasury bills interest will be mentioned in the RBI website. So you can check RBI website at any point of time. So you will be able to get the percentage of the treasury bills. Okay, let me check what is the percentage of treasury bills. This is usually utilized by the companies. Now what happens in government bonds is the companies will go and buy the government bonds because there's a huge amount of money invested. So for the further big projects of the company, they'll get good amount. So that is your treasury bills, or that is mainly actually government bonds. There are many other government bonds also which you will be able to understand. Okay, so US also gives treasury bonds. Okay, that's called as treasury bonds, and they usually take it for 10 to 30 years. So for 30 years they will be able to keep the money, and they will get good amount. Now in India, you will have 7.15% for the bonds. That is the, I think that is a recent interest. And but apart from that, they will add some more amount and give. Okay, they'll add some more amount and give, but that is what is the yeah, government bonds are over 7% now. Yeah, presently it is 7.15%. That is the interest rate that you will get. So you can say, I will get more interest than this in some FD and all. No problem, you can keep an FD. But this is a bulk amount for a longer period of time, where you'll be getting huge amount back as the interest. Okay, if you're keeping 10 lakhs and 15 lakhs and all, on that 7.15% is a huge amount, where you'll be getting that back after 10 years. So that is government bonds. Okay, now apart from government bonds, you will have to learn about another type of bond, that is corporate bonds. Now here government was giving the bond. Government was giving the bond, right? Government was getting the money. Now similarly, if company issues bonds, means every individual, let's say Mr. P, Miss S, all of them can go and buy the bonds. That will be your corporate bonds. When the company issues the bonds, it is known as corporate bonds. Now, corporate bonds interest percentage will differ from company to company. So whenever you buy the bond, no, at that point of time, you can know about the company. So few of the interest rates that you can see in the corporate bonds in India are, there is ICICI Prudential Constant Maturity Growth. That is one of the bond. For 3 years bond, they are paying you 10.36%. That is the interest rate of a corporate bond. Okay, and L&T has a corporate bond which is paying 9.55% for 3 years, and for 5 years ICICI is paying 10.88. Like that, there are many bonds. There are, every company will try to issue the corporate bonds. Okay, and it is risk free. You don't have too much risk, because unless shares, because shares only when you have profit you will be getting the dividend, but in bonds it is compulsory to pay the interest. Okay, that in bonds, that interest is called as coupon. In bonds, interest, the other name for interest is coupon, is COUPON, coupon. Okay, so this coupon rate will be compulsorily paid. So the risk is very less. when compared to shares. But the only risk is you will be keeping more amount in the bonds. Okay, so that is corporate bonds. So first one is government bonds, where government will be taking money from the public and companies, and it will be paying the interest, and it is for a longer period of time. You will not have short period of time, it's for a longer period of time, for 2 weeks, 3 months, 2 weeks, 3 months and all, or 5 months, 6 months. No, it will be more than 3 to 5 years. So that will be the bonds, government bonds. Corporate bonds, whenever the company issues the bonds, that is called as corporate bonds. So understood government bonds and corporate bonds? Any doubts until here? Okay. Now there is one last type of bond which you'll have to understand, that is foreign bond. Now in foreign bonds, what will happen? The foreign company will try to invest in the different companies. So let us take an example, Citibank. Okay, Citibank is a foreign company. It is not from India. Now Citibank can give bonds, but it can give bonds in the local currency. Now Citibank is of UK. Okay, but it can sell the bonds in India in rupees. So this is called as foreign bonds. The foreign company selling its bonds in the foreign country in their local currency, that is known as foreign bonds. Okay. On the other case, Indian company, let's take for example Infosys. Now Infosys wants to